Welcome back to another episode of The Canon while bringing lace and comic book and superhero movie news. I'm your host Terry, and it is that time of the year doing my Comic-Con recap for the DC side. So, I did the Justice League trailer reacts. I did that. Put the link in the comment or in the description section so you can go check that out. So I won't focus too much on that, but I will recap some of the big news that we had in the DC universe. First up is the movie slate that they released to let us know what movies will be coming up. First, of course, you got your Justice League, which is coming up in November. Then that's followed up by Aquaman by James Wan. Then you got Shazam, which broke news as the next movie going into production. After that, Suicide Squad 2. We got the Batman solo. We got Justice League Dark. We got Batgirl by Joss Whedon. Green Lantern Corps. FLASHPOINT. And then Wonder Woman 2. So, I am going to keep this slate. I do like this for the most part. It's hard to sweep it because there's so many movies. There's some movies I definitely want on there that aren't there, but I like it overall. It's important for everybody to remember, though, that DC/Warner Brothers did not confirm the timeline. We know Justice League and Aquaman are the next two, and then Shazam, but they did not confirm the rest of the movies are in chronological order. So it still could be different past Shazam. We don't know when which movie's coming out. A lot of people are assuming these are in chronological order, but you never exactly know. So looking at the slate, you got a few surprises there, more than a few. Number one that sticks out to me is Justice League Dark. So we know that Doug Liman was originally going to direct, and then he left the project because it's been held up and he has some other things to do. So now they haven't announced a director. They've been looking at people, but the fact that it's on the slate and they're ready to go, and not only on the slate, it's in the DCEU slate. There isn't a separate Dark Universe slate where they're going to do Swamp Thing and Constantine and all that stuff. It seems as if right now that is part of the universe proper. So that's interesting to see how that unfolds. Then you got Suicide Squad 2, which a lot of people they're clinging to this idea of Gotham City Sirens. Once they announced that Joss Whedon was doing Batgirl instead of Gotham City Sirens, I was like, okay, I don't know how much of a priority it's going to be, because you got David Ayer, I believe, who did Suicide Squad. He's directing Gotham City Sirens. We know Suicide Squad made a lot of money, but a lot of people didn't like it. And so I didn't know if they were going to give the priority to that movie when the hotter director is going to be doing Batgirl. So that's a question of what happens to Harley Quinn. We've been hearing a lot of rumors talking about there's a Harley Quinn versus Joker movie spinoff. We heard that Joker and Harley Quinn might appear in Justice League. A lot of different things. And then, of course, the original Batman movie, which was supposed to be Arkham Asylum, Harley Quinn was supposed to be in that with Joker. So it's interesting to see if Joker returns and if Harley Quinn returns, or does Harley Quinn have her own adventure and Suicide Squad focuses on something else. So right now we know Suicide Squad has not had a director. It seems Mel Gibson might not be the pick. We talked about their front runner, but that hasn't been official yet. So we got to see. Wonder Woman 2 is a no-brainer. We don't have to talk about that. The things I will say is No Man of Steel 2 is probably what sticks out the most. We know Batman was fast-tracked. People wanted Batman. They kind of stuck that in. But we also know that Man of Steel 2 was said to be a priority, and they were trying to stick that in the lineup, but you don't see that there. And so with the news that Shazam won't have Black Adam, a lot of people, and me included, feel that a Man of Steel 2 where Superman versus Black Adam was going to be the next logical step, because Black Adam might have his own movie, but we know The Rock and Henry Cavill have been teasing a Superman versus Black Adam fight. So I thought if you announced Man of Steel 2, The Rock versus Henry Cavill, the place explodes, but they didn't. So interesting to see what happens to Superman after Justice League. Alright, so let's skip to the next bit of news, which is a spin-off of that. The FLASHPOINT movie, guys. Let's go back to that. The Flash movie has been announced to be a FLASHPOINT movie. Now, again, we don't know what time this is going to happen, because the original Flash movie was supposed to come out next year after Aquaman in 2018. Now it seems like, well, of course it won't be, because the next movie is Shazam, and Shazam won't come out to 2019. So we don't know when Flashpoint is going to happen, but we do know it's going to happen. It's big not only because it's a popular story. It's big because in the comics and the TV shows and then in the movies, Flash is always going to be your get out of jail free card. He's going to be your reset button that you use to reset the universe and change whatever things you want. Once he goes back in time and changes things, that starts a ripple effect that you can do a lot of things with. So in the cartoon, in the movie, the animated movie, Batman or Bruce Wayne dies and his dad is Batman, stuff like that. So they can always keep that. They can always change that. They can do Flashpoint and all of a sudden Christian Bale is Batman again. So this is probably a trump card they're going to hold on to. It's later in the list, so I'm guessing it actually is later in the slate, because what happens, and we'll get to the Ben Affleck stuff, is as you want to change things, as you want to go in different directions, especially now Jeff Johnson said we want a lighter, more fun universe and blah, blah, blah. Or business-wise, if you get actors and actresses you might not want, maybe you don't want Jared Leto Joker and you want to just scrub that out. Maybe Ben Affleck leaves, you want to scrub that out. Maybe you want to do something, whatever. Maybe you want to change someone's age. Then that's where this comes in, and now you can do that as a trump card. But I'm wondering if it will involve Reverse Flash, and if it does involve Thomas Wayne, who is played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, of course, tweeted out like, "Oh snap! Yeah, I heard about that. What's going on?" But he's just playing around. So we have to see when more details come out about what exactly they're going to do with Flashpoint, and when it happens, I think is the more important. Because if it's like last or towards the back, then expect some changes in DCEU. And then on top of that, I think the director you get is different. A Flash origin movie, Rick Famuyiwa and Dope, that's fun. But a Flashpoint movie, that's a different level of movie. And so you got to look for them to get a big time director to do that. Alright, and the last bit of news. Everybody's been waiting for it. Ben Affleck came out on stage and said, "I'm Batman." Flashpoint. I lightly keep that, by the way. But Ben Affleck news, I'm going to keep. So here's the thing. As I said before it happened, and most other people said, with Justice League coming out and getting into the hype train, you can't come out there and kill momentum like, "Yeah, I'm leaving this Batman." Or Warner Bros. Like, "Yeah, we're trying to make him leave." So, of course, you had to spin the denial. You had to rally the troops, say, "Yeah, I'm coming back." So that's just good business. Now, the way you can take this is a lot of different ways. But I would say, just look at the comments. Like with Matt Reeves, he says, "I love Matt Reeves. I'll play an 8 for that dude, blah, blah, blah." So everybody's like, "Yeah, he's the Batman." He didn't confirm he's starring in the Batman movie. He said he wants to play Batman. He loves the role. He said all that stuff. He didn't come out and say, "I'm signed under contract to do this." It's not what he said. And now I know he said, "I'm not going anywhere." But again, you gotta look at it's two sides to it. So it could be that he wants to stay Batman and that Warner Brothers doesn't want him to be Batman. A lot of the reports were that the Warner Brothers doesn't like how old he is because he's a lot older than the rest of the cast. And then Matt Reeves wants to do a trilogy about a younger Batman. So we haven't confirmed what the trilogy will take place in, but the rumors are that Matt Reeves wants to do a younger Batman. And they don't know that they want Ben Affleck to hang around for that long, because that's a long time. He's almost 50 now. By the time that trilogy's over, he's going to be well past 50. So they're not sure that that's what they want to do. So it could be him kind of taking a jab or drawing a line in the sand at the company and saying, "Hey, I want to be Batman. If I'm not Batman, it's on you." It could be. Or they could have said, "Hey, let's just all go kumbaya and then we'll figure it out later." So the thing you got to realize is Justice League's coming out soon. But then we don't know when Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy starts. That's the key to it. again, the release slate isn't confirmed. So if it's coming right after Suicide Squad 2, then I'm more likely to believe that Ben Affleck will be in the first Batman movie. If it's coming later, especially after Flashpoint, then you got a big reason to say, okay, I think they might be switching things up. We heard that Batgirl is going to have Nightwing in it, or it's Robin, they didn't say Nightwing. But that might be a way to introduce your young whoever and he takes over as Batman. I personally hope it's like some multiverse thing where we just switch Bruce Waynes. I don't want a non-Bruce Wayne Batman. And so when the Batman solo series comes out in conjunction to Flashpoint is really going to tell you a lot about what's going on. And then from there, again, you think about, so Shazam comes out in 2019. That's over 2 years from now. Or not over, but 2 years from now, depending on when it releases. And then you got Suicide Squad 2, also in 2019. They probably won't do 3 movies in a year. So you're talking about at the earliest, Batman solo movie comes out in 2020. Guys, that's a lot of time in between. There's no Justice League 2. So you don't necessarily have to see Ben Affleck after Justice League for a long time. He might be in Suicide Squad 2, who knows. But you don't necessarily have to see him. So it stands to reason that by the time we hit 2020, and if that's in 2020, it could be 2021. Things could have changed. They know that. They know that the movie's not coming out for at least 3 years. So, of course, they can tell you, yeah, Ben Affleck's on board. And then within 3 years, a lot of things could happen. So, if you want Ben Affleck's Batman, I do too. Cool, be happy, enjoy it. But don't attack people saying they're making it up. These rumors, there's smoke, there's fire. All these people aren't getting the same information for no reason. So, yes, he's rallying the troops. He's doing good business. But we'll have to see in the next 3 years. Alright, so that's it for the news for the DC side. I mean, overall, my thing is the Justice League trailer was great. Zack Snyder was out there. And all the cast was supporting Zack Snyder. They absolutely love him. I think it looks like Zack Snyder's movie. And I just think the cast is having a great time. And you can say what you want about the movies, but between Suicide Squad, Justice League, these casts are like, they love each other. Like Jason Momoa is a wild man, and they've been having fun with it. They came off the plane, snapping selfies. I mean, all the movies, Marvel included, are having fun, but I like Justice League's energy. And we didn't see Henry Cavill, so that was weird, but we know he might be coming back. Alright, so go down to the description section, check out my Marvel recap, comment what you think of Flashpoint, what do you think of Batman news, thumbs up, subscribe, and if you heard it here, it's official canon.